You know what I don't get, guys? If coronavirus is supposed to be so deadly, right? Why does it have China dead already? This is supposed to be the Great Plague that wipes the entire planet out, right? So it would stand to reason that China, not just 60,000 people, but more than that, would be completely and utterly decimated, right? Right. At any rate, folks, I'm not worried about the coronavirus, and neither should you. Greetings, and welcome to the Whitfield Report Thursday/Friday edition of the show. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live here from South Florida. Still dressed up and dressed to the nines here, just for you folks, because I'm professional like that. At any rate, folks, we're going to have a pretty laid-back stream here tonight. I know a lot of you guys are probably already asleep, so you guys will either catch this on the replay or, on the podcast, since the Thursday show is primarily listened to by those listening on audio. But at any rate, if you are catching this live, happy to have you aboard. Contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @SamBeaver_NDC. You can follow me on Gab, Minds, and Parler at Sam Whitfield. And I am on Gab again, guys. I decided to give Gab a shot, and it's not too bad, actually. They did a pretty good redesign recently, and it's not as, cringe-worthy as, previous versions of the site were. So that's good. Facebook.com/Whitfield Report and thesamwhitfield.com. And as always, please subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. So, folks, right, this coronavirus, we're supposed to be shitting our pants in fear over this thing, right? It's supposed to be the deadliest, virus that we've ever encountered, according to the mainstream media. The drive-bys, as Al Rushbell likes to call them. And boy, oh boy, our people, was the left pissed at President Trump's response. They were not happy at all over the fact that Trump said, "We already got it under control, guys. Don't you worry." Honestly, guys, in regards to the coronavirus, and I realize I'm just ad-libbing a bit here, I honestly don't think the coronavirus is like a great big, government or deep state conspiracy, folks. I really don't. And I'll tell you what's really going on. And I actually have evidence to back this up. I think not just America, but the world as a whole has gotten so addicted to fear and paranoia that anytime a virus like this, comes up, it becomes a pandemic because people love hysteria and whatnot. What's my evidence for this? Well, from personal experience, that internet comedian guy, former comedian, Owen Benjamin, was able to convince tons and tons of gullible people that, two of my friends tried to poison his kids with gummy dicks. Now, that may seem laughable, and it completely is. And yet people believed him. People believed that, Bernie Sanders, who is not a communist, according to him, even though he basically is going to be able to provide, free education and free healthcare for everyone. People believe that, right? Right? So there are people who can convince. There are stupid people who can convince other stupid people of a ton of things, and even people who aren't stupid. It's not even that they're stupid. A lot of people are gullible. So of course, if CNN wants to spin a story, that coronavirus is going to kill us all, they can, and people will buy it. And honestly, I don't even think, they're the ones I mean, obviously they're feeding into hysteria, but I honestly think that CNN and the media are just as duped as the rest of the people are. Because, right, let's look at China. Right, China is basically not necessarily a third world country, but it's not the United States by any stretch of the imagination. They're communist. Their infrastructure in terms of supporting people is not that good to begin with. I mean, their factory workers are literally, trying to commit suicide by, jumping off buildings and, landing in those net things, right? China is not the, is not necessarily the peak, standard of health. Yeah, they're damn smart, but, the quality of life is shit there. So, yeah. El Jefe brings up a good point. 90% of China is third world. Exactly. So, it's not like, we're dealing with... It's not like this shit is happening in, Great Britain. Yet. We don't even really know what the coronavirus is at this point. It sounds a lot like Ebola to me. With the potential for people to start coughing and, puking and all that stuff. All these different virus strains. Have you noticed, whether it be Ebola or coronavirus, the initial reports always come out and, say stuff like, oh, you're going to be, puking and bleeding and shitting your guts out. I don't know about that. Look, all I'm trying to say is I think it's good to be prepared, certainly in case this coronavirus does actually become something serious. You always want to be prepared, regardless. So make sure that you have like non-perishable food and food storage, stuff. I don't want to be like, I'm not going to be like Crowder and tell you to, go buy like a certain brand of, food storage, but, I don't have any food storage sponsors, so I'm not, shilling for anyone, but honestly, just go to Costco or Walmart or one of those places and buy, emergency food that's like in a bucket. You should always, you should always be prepared. And I'm not saying that people should sleep on this. I'm just saying that I don't think we need to be scared shitless over this either. Johnny Arcade says, when Vox said he would lick someone with coronavirus. Would you lick someone with coronavirus? I'm not sure I would lick anyone to begin with, Johnny. That just seems like a weird proposition to just go up to someone and just lick them, right? That seems like an extremely weird, proposition. Now, if like an extremely attractive woman like, what's her face, Julia Rose, that one Instagram model that always has her tongue out. If she wanted to lick me, that would be one thing. But Vox is a weirdo. What can I say? Also, this is coming from a country that eats bats and reptiles and shit like that, right? So, are there any bat eaters here? And no, I'm not talking about the Black Sabbath fans, although I don't even know if we have any Black Sabbath, like hardcore Black Sabbath fans. And I like Black Sabbath, but obviously I'm not. Well, I am dressed in black partially, but I'm not a goth emo kid. Yeah. The numbers are in line with the flu numbers. Trump's officials said it will take a year. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I mean, it's pretty similar to the flu, vaccine. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, I think people will get sick from this. Maybe here. I just don't see it as like some global pandemic thing that will take half of the world's population. And honestly, I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's some global, conspiracy. I do think that the hysteria is being drummed up to make Trump seem incompetent over this. People are upset that, he didn't create like another department just to deal with this, shit, and that he has the vice president, on board to deal with this. But why honestly do we need a coronavirus czar? Hey, Joshua Rogers. Long time no see, buddy. And the chat goes, I'm gonna saute some gay frogs with a nice turp vinaigrette sauce. Smoking spiders is boring. Well, I guarantee you that, you survived smoking spiders, Josh, and we've all seen this stream to prove it. So if anyone is going to survive coronavirus, it's you. And look, if we die of coronavirus, well, that's on us. I do have one clip regarding coronavirus, and it's a clip from none other, surprise, surprise, than El Rushbo, who said earlier this week that the coronavirus scare is being used to demoralize people from the success of Trump's economy. Now, this clip was edited somewhat to make it seem like, Rush is saying that coronavirus was, made to defeat Trump. That's not what he's saying at all, and I'll explain it in a sec. I don't even know if Alex Jones is really concerned about coronavirus at this point. But anyway, here's Rush's comments on coronavirus from, I believe this was Monday's show, clip number 1.
Folks, this coronavirus thing, I want to try to put this in perspective for you. It looks like the coronavirus being weaponized as yet another element to bring down Donald Trump. Now, I want to tell you the truth about the coronavirus. What, you think I'm wrong about this? You think I'm missing it by saying that's... Yeah, I'm dead right on this. The coronavirus is the common cold, folks. The drive-by media hype of this thing as a pandemic, as the Andromeda strain, as, oh my God, if you get it, you're dead. Do you know what I think the survival rate is 98%. 98% of people get the coronavirus survive. It's a respiratory system virus. It probably is a Chi-Com laboratory experiment that is in the process of being weaponized.
Okay, now, coronavirus, what he means by that is that the coronavirus scare is being weaponized against, Trump. This is Ebola all over again, right? Ebola was supposed to be this big, catastrophic thing that was supposed to wipe us all out way back in 2015 or whatever, and Obama created a whole thing to get rid of it. He spent $5 billion on Ebola research. $5 billion. And wow. $5 billion, that sure saved us from Ebola. Thanks a lot. Meanwhile, Trump is only spending $2 million on coronavirus. I don't even think it's worth $2 million. Give me $50. And the blood is on your hands, Sammy. Everyone's gonna die. Well, Johnny, you wouldn't be the first one to say that, right? I mean, the blood's on your hands too, Johnny. You poisoned gummies. You poisoned non-existent gummies and gave them to children. How dare you? You know. So there's that. We all have blood on our hands, and you know, you said Rush doesn't care. We're all, you know, he's dying anyway. Well, if we really want to get metaphysical about this, because that's the other thing. I'm not a nihilist, but you know, none of us are getting any younger. Any one of us could die tomorrow of anything. So I just don't see the need to, you know, panic over coronavirus. I'll tell you what is killing me though is my allergies and hay fever. Good God, it's not as bad as it would have been back in Colorado, but in fact, let me see if well, they look better now, but I think my eyes were pretty damn bloodshot earlier. But yeah, I mean, seasonal allergies will kill me before you know, coronavirus does. And like I said, you know, get your dehydrated food, you know, your non-perishables. Get your distilled water, and get your filtration system. I just, you know, when the shit hits the fan, it's gonna hit the fan. You know, but I mean, who knows? It'll probably be due to nuclear war or something, or you know, who knows? At this point, maybe the bear apocalypse will happen. So I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. No panicking. Just be ready for anything anyway. Never know what. Exactly. That's my main point. Is everyone has been saying, "Oh my God, coronavirus is gonna kill us all." Mass hysteria. And I think I've lived long enough. I mean, we all survived Y2K, right? Y2K was supposed to be the big computer virus, you know, that like the clocks were going to, you know, the whole entire world was supposed to collapse because of the computers, you know, not functioning right? So, and yet we're still here 20, good God, that was legit 20 years ago now, because it is 2020, and we're still here. All right. Let's see. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try a gravity bomb enema. Okay, what are you saying about John? I'm already having panic attacks. I drank turpentine all day, hoping to not be gay by the end of the week. Cleansing my despair. Owen, is that you? What did you do with Johnny? If that doesn't work, I'm gonna do a gravity bong enema. Yeah. Y2K had nothing on 12/21/12. Oh shit, yeah, that's right. 12/21/12. Oh yeah, what a fun day that was. Alan. Honestly, I was a senior in high school at the time, and my friends and I, we all well, no, it was earlier than that. It wasn't 12/20. I think it was like 12. It may have been 12/21. I don't know, but regardless, one of my favorite memories from high school from senior year was like in early December of that year. On one of the Fridays, a bunch of us in the senior class played hooky. And our excuse was that the apocalypse was coming, right? The Mayan calendar was like set to end. And so, fuck it. We weren't gonna spend our last possible Friday on Earth. In school. Maybe it was 12/21, but that doesn't make sense. Only because we were probably already on Christmas break by then. Anyway, I can't remember. Regardless, I know that one of the days we basically played hooky and used 12/20. Used the Mayan calendar thing like as an excuse. I mean, it even got to the point where like I think the principal, if I remember correctly, like actually made like an intercom announcement like the day, like the Monday after, like, I guess giving instructions on like what to do if the apocalypse happened at school. I kid you not, I guess some students were that afraid. Or someone like legitimately trolled him into doing that. Probably the latter now that I think about it. So the world did actually end on 12/21/2012, but the government covered it up. I have the documents to prove it. Okay, Alan Jones. Very cool. So, by the way, folks, I was going to try and stream this on D Live as well. But when I tried starting the stream the first time, the stream took a giant dump. So, Sam got suspended for streaking at the homecoming game. Johnny, you weren't supposed to tell that story. That was our secret. Backyard dumpster. Oh, funny. Hello to you too. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, poison gummies are, well, no, actually, I don't know. Do I have more of a likelihood of dying from like poison gummies or dying from coronavirus? I'm not sure. Yeah, Linda, I mean, I can give the DLive link, but we're not up there already. Yeah. You've seen the clip on his channel actually of me sticking at homecoming. It's a deep fake. I swear to God, it's a deep fake. So yeah, thumbs up for the Whitfield report. Rogan's up. So all right. poison gummies don't exist. Yeah, cool. Well, how do you know, Johnny? How do you know that they don't exist? Poison coronavirus. That's funny. Let's see. I wonder how the Pope fell ill. Really, Linda, the Pope is sick? I'll have to look that up real quick. Hang on. I'm not sure about that. Also, folks, I am sorry, but I am not doing anything for I'm not fasting or anything this weekend. I'm not Catholic, but it's not a good idea for me to fast. I'm skinny enough as is. So yeah, I'm not doing any fasting. I did see that the Pope was like telling Catholics to stop trolling on social media, though. That's like an actual thing, and that's not going to happen. So, don't worry, Sammy. Benjamin says drink turpentine to cure corona parasites. Honestly, the only thing that this coronavirus has done is make me thirsty for Corona. I'm serious. I might go and grab a 6-pack tomorrow, or something. Caretaker, Sam, were you going to talk about Lyme? Yeah. Let's see. Well, Al, I gave up sniffing. I gave up drinking turpentine last week. I was gonna say I gave up sniffing glue last week, but that the airplane reference would have been too obvious there. So, let's see. Honestly, though, I basically have cut back on drinking beer a bit. So, I don't know. What I could do is give up caffeine. I really should do that, but then, I would be irritable. I would be super irritable if if I gave that up. So, story on Pope. Oh, thanks. Oh my, yeah, damn it, my phone's probably got. Just call me Slippy Fingers, folks. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, we're gonna pull this. We're gonna pull this up then. So once I get the link from Discord, yeah, JA. You're saying, Sammy, hey, Sammy. I read you loud and clear. So. I'm not the gay one. You're the gay one. So, I'm a recovering Catholic. Was made to go 1st through 7th. Yeah, my mother's a recovering Catholic. Actually, I was never raised. People think I'm Catholic because I guess, I don't know. I guess Catholics somehow dress nicer or some stereotype like that. Not necessarily in my experience. So, well, thanks for dropping it. Thanks for dropping in, Al. I appreciate that. So. Anyway, also, props to Alyssa for pulling up the article at the New York Post as opposed to the New York Times. Thanks, Alyssa. Very cool. All right, now let me see if this will work. Okay. Let's go to Safari. Okay. There we are. Okay. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Pope Francis. Sick a day after, supporting coronavirus sufferers. Pope Francis has come down with a slight indisposition, forcing him to cancel a planned mass in Rome just a day after he expressed his solidarity with corona sufferers around the world. And as the disease continues to spread across Italy. Oh, geez, coronavirus is in Italy. Well, they've had the bubonic plague, so I guess this is the second coming, of that crap, right? Okay. The illness has forced the 82-year-old pontiff to nix a penitential mass, marking the start of Lent. They planned to celebrate at St. John Lateran Basilica across town with Roman clergy, the Vatican said. Francis will proceed with the rest of his planned work Thursday, but preferred to stay near Santa Marta, the Vatican hotel where he lives, officials said. The Vatican has not specified the nature of the Pope's illness, but he was seen coughing and blowing his nose during Ash Wednesday Mass. Could have been a cold. Let's see. Meanwhile, 400 cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in Italy, and 12 people have died. Most of the cases have been reported in northern Italy. 3 cases were reported in Rome, but each person has already recovered. During a general audience in St. Petersburg Square on Ash Wednesday, the Pope expressed his support for coronavirus sufferers. I wish again to express my closeness to those who are ill with coronavirus and to healthcare workers who are caring for them, he said, according to Vatican News. We are all going to die of the of the bat plague. Accept it and move on. Yeah, well, Johnny, like I said, we all gotta go of something. I've told you I want to go out. So, Sam, I followed you and IG. Love the stream. Remember, kids, just saying thank you, Backyard Dumpster Pump Farm. I appreciate that. 07 to you. Let's see. Alan Powell says, I'm immune. I've been taking my Flintstone vitamins since I was 3. Yeah, but I mean, Alan, Alan is pretty much the world's indestructible troll. I mean, Owen Benjamin tried to, kill him, and yet he survived. He survived after Apex Gamma, resurrected him from underneath Owen's fence post. Johnny, if I like Vox, will I be immune? No. Well, you might be immune from coronavirus, Johnny, but I guarantee you will contract AIDS. Or no, not AIDS. Scratch that. I meant to say gay. You will I'm not saying that Boxer has AIDS. That was a gaffe on my part. But I am saying that if you are to that if you were to lick Vox, you would contract gay. You would also contract probably male pattern baldness too. So, let's see. Yeah, IG is Instagram. So, all right. Now, I won't continue the program for too much, longer. I realize it's late here, and I do actually want to get to bed. I guess somewhat early, but since some of you guys who listen to the audio podcast, a lot of you guys who follow me know that I like comic book movies, and I don't know why you guys thought I had seen Birds of Prey, the DC Harley Quinn movie or whatever, but I have not seen it, and I don't intend to, because I've heard it's terrible, and I've heard that it's nothing but another feminist claptrap. So if I do see it, I'll probably see it on Netflix. So, or Amazon Prime, whichever it comes out first. But Eric July Young Ripper, who I really who I really think does great commentary. He did a review on it. I'll play a bit for that. Let's see. Alyssa says we thought you saw it because you're gay. Obviously, no. I'm not the gay one. I'm not the gay one, Melissa. That's Milo. So just because I dress impeccably doesn't mean I'm gay. So let's see. Hey Sammy, what's the lime deal all about? Oh yeah, one of my friends made a great pun that I used a few weeks ago because I said that I prefer the Guinness virus over the coronavirus, and he said you should put corona and Lyme virus. So no, I have, well, Sam has 4 subscriptions to unauthorized, and is gay. If only that were true. If only that were true, Johnny. If only that were true. You have no idea what I subscribe to, but it's not unauthorized. Let me just say that. So, let's see. But yeah, Eric July did a review on Birds of Prey and basically why it sucks, and so I'm gonna play a quick excerpt of that because I enjoy watching a base black guy basically obliterate feminists. So anyway. Clip two.
These blue check marks and other weirdos continue to show how they are completely oblivious to the reality of the situation when it comes to the underperformance of the Birds of Prey. Not only was the underperformance very predictable, but what people were going to say in light of the underperformance was also predictable. And that is, now they are saying, they're blaming sexism, saying people hate women, people have an issue with women, and all of this other nonsense. And yes, it's verifiably false. We already went through that. Let's go through some of these. Oh, God, dog it, man. Blue check mark. I don't know. I'm not quite familiar with. Oh, okay. Women's Republic founder and feminist with pronouns in the bio. Says the blatant sexism around the conversations about Birds of Prey is wild. It's funny what kind of standards everyone holds women-centric films to. Everything has to be perfect, but dude bro movies can lack good actors, storylines, and logic and still be praised. There are plenty of dude movies that are action movies that have been shredded. They all aren't box office successes. They all aren't praised. So I don't know where she even led with that or where she got that from, because there are not all movies are successful. It's pretty obvious, is it not? But when you operate from a point that nobody's arguing, you get to make stuff like this up, because nobody's attempting to, not that I'm aware of. Well, let's say this. It's certainly not a significant portion of the people that maybe take issue with what's going on with Birds of Prey. I'm not saying that it had to be perfect. That's not what the standard that anybody has ever held any movie to, but they're certainly not holding this movie to that standard. But these guys just cannot come to terms with the fact that the movie itself was marketed to folks like this, and they didn't get their butts in the seats. That's all. That's all. I mean, you get what you deserve, man. Like, this is what I've been trying to tell people. Like, these dudes, you got to get off of Twitter. Like, if you are you don't have to get off it. You utilize it absolutely to your advantage. But when it comes to like trying to dictate an entire market of consumers, Twitter isn't the best place for it because there's a loud majority there from a cultural standpoint. It's not even like, if you look at even America's case, like it's not even a significant amount of the population that comic books or even write comic books. We're talking about Birds of Prey, Gail Simone, people.
So long story short, basically feminists are bitching and moaning that a movie that was made for them, sucks, basically. So what can you do? Well, I mean, Aaron Cross listened. I will take my shirt off. It's not Saturday night yet. It's not the after show. We still have one more day to go. I can't do it. Yeah. But I appreciate that. Plus, I mean, look, I'm looking good. Do you really want me to do you really want me to take this off when I'm looking good? So anyway. Yeah, Josh says we do stream wax here. Yeah, we're probably one of the only channels on YouTube that does. So good God, people are gonna tune into this and think we're on the podcast and think that we're broadcasting on Pornhub or something like that. Which, at the rate YouTube is censoring folks, like, Pornhub might be the only place that we're allowed. That, like, I guess alternative commentators will be allowed on soon. So, do you really want us to answer that? Yes. You already finished. Oh, that's lovely, Josh. Well, I appreciate that I brought you so much, I guess, pleasure, I guess. So all I can say is that someone out there has shirtless pics of me. That's all I will say. So at any rate, it's been a fun Thursday show. Thursday, I guess, / Friday. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We talked about coronavirus, BS'd a while about random stuff. Let's see. We talked about coronavirus. We talked about coronavirus. We talked about room wax. Let's see. We got the standard Owen Benjamin reference in the program. That's always good. I think we've just about got it, folks. So at any rate, guys, thanks for tuning in. So good night. God bless. God save this great nation. I'll see you Saturday. And real quick, folks, I don't know when we're going to do it yet. We might do it this weekend. We might not before you go. But I will be doing another expose on Owen with John Arcade and maybe Alan Powell. We might get David Crocco in there too at some point. Let's see. But anyway, folks, and who knows? I might even go shirtless, for the cause. So, yeah. So, all right. Anyway, folks, thank you to all of you who tuned in. Good night. God bless. God save this great nation. And I will see you all on the next stream. Hey there, folks. If you've made it this far to the end of the podcast, I'd like to thank you very much for listening to the show. You are the ones that make it possible for me to make an income from podcasting, and I greatly appreciate that just by listening to our show. You are helping us gain ad revenue. However, if you would really like to help support the show, I encourage you to please donate to the podcast and become a supporter of the show. You can head over to anchor.fm/Whitfield Report and click the support this podcast button and choose the amount that suits you to support the show. Or you can click the link in the show notes and it will directly take you to that page. If you can support the podcast, I really, really appreciate that. Anything that you can do to help out is greatly appreciated. Even if you can't afford to help financially support the podcast, I encourage you to please go on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Stitcher and please leave this podcast a positive 5-star review. That really helps us out here at the Whitfield Report. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next episode.